Hello again, everyone. I'm Tom Hanneman.
It's no surprise to anyone that yesterday's game was one of the greatest.
Alley-oop thrown down by Michael Beasley. How high can you go?
One of the most versatile and familiar voices in Minnesota sports broadcasting,
We welcome you to Hockey Day, Minnesota.
Tom Hanneman's career has spanned 50 years. Born in La Crosse, Wisconsin, his family of 8 brothers and sisters migrated throughout the Midwest before landing in Minneapolis. Tom's first taste of broadcasting came in 1970 as a disc jockey at Minnesota State University.
You think about his career and how it started. He's in college and he writes a letter to Dave Moore.
While he was still in school, Tom got his foot in the door at WCCO-TV, working as a dispatcher. It wasn't long before he took up a more permanent residency.
4 holes in 1 at the U.S. Open today.
Tom was in our living rooms for 2 Vikings Super Bowl appearances.
It may be a silly question, but can you describe what you're feeling right now, Kirby?
And who could forget the 1987 World Championship run for the hometown Twins?
The parade is over, but believe me, nobody wants to leave.
Or the dramatic national championship for our Pride on Ice in 1979.
I know you weren't happy before. You got to be very pleased now.
Well, I'm going to smile now.
Hanneman's work has taken him around the globe, from the White House to the World Championships of Basketball and the Winter Olympics in Sarajevo.
Topping the news tonight, what began as a dispute among members of the Red Lake Band of the Chippewa Indians ended today in a shootout and takeover.
One of the most monumental moments in Tom's career, however, took place at home. It wasn't a sports report from an anchor desk. In fact, it wasn't an assignment at all.
I volunteered. We were shorthanded, and I said, listen, I'll go up. There'll be an FBI roadblock, and I can do this. So I went. Unfortunately, we beat the FBI to the area, so we drove right into trouble.
For the next hour, the demonstrators went on and fired shots into the air.
The gunman put the gun to my temple and said, I'm going to blow your effing head off. And it's a funny thing. You're scared to death, but I accepted that I was going to die. And there was my wife and I had a 6-month-old son. And I was really happy at the time because I'd taken out a life insurance policy and I thought, well, they'll be set for life. And we're laying in the middle of a highway and it appeared he was just going to try to run us over. He's screaming and yelling about as intense as you can get. And he turned around with the car and went into a building, and then we took off.
A witness to the event helped bring Tom and Keith to safety. Their experience left a lasting impression.
It certainly gave me clarity when you come close to death about what's important and what isn't. And there's gratitude every day, if you look for it, that you're simply alive.
After 16 years, Tom left WCCO-TV to join the new team in town.
The first game ever for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
In 1989, Tom was hired by the Minnesota Timberwolves as their TV and radio host and reporter, working alongside Kevin Harlan.
For Tom, with the Timberwolves for 23 years, and we overlapped for 9 of those. He also did NBA radio, so his broadcasts were heard all across the country. The biggest games, the All-Star Game, the finals, and he did a weekly show on the BBC overseas. He's a 9-time Emmy Award winner and the Ray Scott Award for Excellence in Sports Broadcasting.
This kid has a gift.
And then goes from being a sideline reporter and just becomes a play-by-play guy in the NBA. One of 30 in the NBA. Who does that? And then he transitions into working for Fox Sports North and becomes the face of Fox Sports North.
From deep in the heart of Target Center, we welcome you to Wolves Live.
And is just one of the singularly most unique, talented broadcasters I've ever worked with.
Meow, meow, he's on the lam.
Tom Hanneman really is Phil Hartman.
A moment of silence tonight for Steadicam guy who is no longer steady.
One of the most talented sketch comedy artists.
Hello, everyone. It should be a wild night tonight somewhere.
He also came up with this fictional character named Bill Beek, who was supposedly the initial radio voice of the Toronto Huskies back in 1946. And Tom would imitate what Bill Beek would sound like.
Welcome, fans, men and women both. It's the Huskies and Gears tonight in Toronto. Dolph Shays jumps and the lights have gone out. The lights have gone out here at Husky Hall. Oh, my, it's dark.
That's the end of it.
Oh, man.
Tom, I know your wife Nancy is so proud of you and your children and your wonderful grandchildren, and join me in congratulating you on this wonderful recognition.
The Silver Circle Award is something that you deserve. It's too bad that it's happening during the pandemic because we'd all love to be there with you, celebrating you, but you know that we care about you and you know how much you mean to me.
From all of us at Fox Sports North, congratulations to our dear friend, Tom Hanneman.